Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. I have had a very good weekend and have done a lot of research, watching different documentaries and also lectures, and I've put together a few talking points and I'm going to be referencing them here, and I have some notes, so sorry if I'm not looking at the camera or at you the whole time. It's just I want to make sure I get all this information in this video because it is Motivation Monday and I want you to start your week as strong as possible, as confident as possible, and as excited as possible for the opportunities and possibilities that are waiting for you. Okay, so I mentioned the Mastering Diabetes Summit. I was watching a summit. It's a 2018 summit. There's a whole website. Again, I don't have diabetes or any medical conditions thus far, thank God. But it's very important to know that when you're obese or morbidly obese, like in my case, if you don't have any of these conditions or are not on any medications, you're lucky because it's down the road. It's on its way if you don't take control of your health now. And I've been fortunate enough to not have any of this. I literally thank God every morning when I wake up because I know that the odds are against me in this condition, in this state of body. So that's why I want to make sure that whoever is watching knows that it's possible for you to change your health and your life completely around and take the steps that are necessary for you to live the best life that you possibly can. So while I was watching this, there was one particular speaker that really resounded with me. I don't know exactly I think his name is Adam. Basically, the way it goes is he was 320 pounds, addicted to medication, Adderall, and a whole bunch of other things, like addicted to drugs, and basically got involved with like criminal stuff and selling and all this stuff, and basically turned his life around with a plant-based whole foods diet, low-fat diet. So what are some of the things that he said, and I'm going to read some of it off to you. He basically was talking about let's say, for argument's sake, that you're a type 2 diabetic. You know that this condition is reversible, and he had to come to the understanding that it's reversible. And one thing he said that was really important was, if there's something in your life, okay, that you do not like, in my life, it's my weight. It's the way that I have, the habits that I've created that created this weight. And you can change it. So if there's something about your life that you don't like and you can change it, then it really isn't a problem. And if you realize that you are the cause of the problem, then you get to be the solution. And you don't need anyone's permission to do it. So you determine your life, you determine what you do with it. So I personally have been caught up in this mindset of almost like, I don't know what to do, and I'm living in this life, in this body. And there was this mindset that I had for a long time that was almost portraying myself as a victim, but I wasn't the victim. I was the person creating this life. It was me. The problem is me. So I created these habits. I created this body that I'm now, inside of, and no one else can help me get out of it unless I choose to get out of it. So even if you have people around you that want you to do better, unless you do better, it's not going to change. Those people can't physically do it for you. So taking control of your life and your situation brings about a feeling of self-worth. And when you have that feeling of self-worth, sorry, I can't even say the word, your life becomes worth saving. That self-worth made me feel like I was worth saving. And he also said that he truly believes that the strongest medication is what you choose to put on your plate. I couldn't agree more because literally, I've changed my life. It's no exaggeration. I've changed my life with the choices that I've made. I was living a life that I wasn't happy with. I was living a life that I did not recognize to be myself, to be mine, because it wasn't the life that I wanted, but I was stuck in this pattern, and I couldn't figure out why. This up and down pattern, it's miserable. The most miserable life you can imagine is a life that you create that you do not want, and yet you keep creating over and over, and these patterns will not stop until you stop. So they say if you want something to change, you have to do something differently than you did before, because everything I was doing up until this point was getting me results, getting me weight loss, but then I was going back to the same patterns and the same habits, and I couldn't understand why. So watching these has helped me understand why. So I'm going to read more to you, and maybe this is not as interactive, but it's so important that you hear this. Here we go. I truly believe that the strongest medication you choose is the strongest medication is what you choose to put on your plate. The strongest predictor of your life and how you're able to experience your life is determined by that daily decision of what you choose to put on your plate. The daily decision, daily choice, every single day, every single breath is your choice of what you put in your body until you're no longer here. The only time you have no choice is when you are no longer living. When you're living, when you wake up, when you have breath in your body, you have a chance to turn it all around. It's so powerful. You really have a choice. You really, really do. And I'm not talking from the perspective of someone who has no idea. I'm talking from the perspective of someone who is living this life. I have lived a morbidly obese life, and now I'm unliving that life. And it has been the hardest, most rewarding, most emotional, most eye-opening experience of my life. This by far has to be the hardest, but most rewarding efforts that I've ever made. This particular journey, this journey that I will choose to be on every single day of my life. I can't stress that enough. Please, please get on the journey. Get on the journey to bettering your life, because once you're here, once you get past that hurdle, I don't think you can see life the same again. Let me just keep going here so I can give you everything you need. Okay. Okay, so it is very easy to fall into the trap of feeling obligated to eat something because you're at a social gathering or an event. Okay, so these are notes that I wrote for myself. So when you're at a social gathering event, you go out to dinner with friends, birthday parties, things happen, life happens. When you're on not so solid ground and you're making these changes and creating this different life for yourself, I feel obligated, I feel bad, I start, just going through my mind and like overthinking everything and how people are going to perceive me and what I can say to people and how I can comfortably tell them that I don't want to eat that, or I don't want to be there, or not that I don't want to be there. I do want to be there. I just don't want to eat that. And I also don't want them to feel bad, but I don't want to make this proclamation everywhere that I'm doing this and I want to do this and I don't want to eat that because of this. So sometimes it's easier for me not to go places or not to do certain things, but life has to happen and you have to live your life and you have to become comfortable with who you are and the decisions that you've made. So up until now, I've been living this life, and believe me, social gatherings are always difficult for me because no matter how much I fix my hair, no matter how much I fix my makeup, no matter how much money I spend on my outfit, I still don't feel good in my body because I was living a morbidly obese life, morbidly obese habits, and it just wasn't who I am. It's not what I want. And people see your outer appearance first. They don't see who you are on the inside first. And obviously, who you are on the outside also kind of reflects who you feel like you are on the inside. Because I wasn't feeling good about myself and I wasn't taking care of myself. And it was very evident. My body, my skin, my anger, there were so many things that I was giving off, so many vibes that I was giving off, because that's how I truly felt inside about myself, not about my outside environment. But people sense that. People sense the anger. People sense the people closest to you sense that you're not happy with yourself. I mean, maybe you don't know it, but people around you do. And believe me, I knew every step of the way that I just wasn't happy inside of myself. And so it has to change, because at the end of the day, I'm going home in this body. I can't take it off like an outfit, and I can't hang it up and bring it out later. And I have to go to bed with this body, and I have to wake up and walk and do everything with this body. What do I want this body to do for me? You know, I have to have the best things going into my body for me to be able to reach the things that I want to reach and reach that optimal health. So now now he says, and I'm going to quote, it's not exact quotes, but it's some notes. This journey is about being in complete control of your own life and complete control of the decisions that you make for your life. He says that he was grateful for being over 300 pounds, grateful for his type 2 diabetes diagnosis, and grateful that he became addicted to drugs and all that, because all of those things led him to where he is now, having reversed his type 2 diabetes, having lost 170 pounds in a short amount of time, and having adapted this new lifestyle, and has never looked back, and has been sober, I believe he said 5 years at that point, and so many things that changed in his life when he decided to take that first step to change. And his story is really fascinating. Now, he also mentioned in this that now, as he was saying that he's grateful for all these things, I was thinking, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for living a life that was morbidly obese. I'm grateful for all my ups and downs in my journey, and all the weight that I've lost and all the weight that I've gained, and all the things that I've experienced as an obese woman. I'm grateful for the eye-opening experiences that I've experienced. I'm grateful for the moment in my life that I felt so fed up with everything around me that I had to make a change. And I'm so grateful for everything that led me to this moment, to be able to talk to you on this platform and tell you that it's possible, because so many times I looked for someone to reassure me over and over and over again, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I couldn't bring myself to talk about it anymore because I felt ashamed. I felt ashamed of who I am. I felt ashamed of my experiences. I felt ashamed of my ups and downs. And I also felt ashamed to bring it to my family and my closest friends, because I felt like they knew all along what I needed to do, and I just wasn't doing it. So talking about it just made me feel worse, because I knew that I had to change this. I just was stuck and trapped as to why I couldn't, and why I couldn't come to an answer. I went to therapy as to, how to deal with stress and how to deal with different things that come my way in order not to turn to food. But at the end of the day, happy, sad, excited, whatever it was, I turned to food as comfort. And when you know what your addiction is, you're able to find the solution for it sooner than if you're in denial about what your problem is. So let's see here. Okay, so I am grateful for those things because they brought me here. And then this journey of health and finding what works for you is a personal commitment. Completely 1000% is a personal commitment to yourself. Every single day you have to recommit to yourself. You have to reassure yourself that what you're doing is for your benefit, for the greater good of your physical well-being. And in turn, the well-being of your whole life. Find your why, he says. I never thought about my why. I actually went to meetings with a friend of mine, and they always talk about find your why. And my why was always because I want to lose weight. That's why. And, who doesn't want to lose weight? And who doesn't want to be in a normal body size and a normal body range? But I couldn't comprehend that. I just didn't understand what it meant to find your why. So Adam went on and said what his why was, and his was related to a lot of different things, including family. And then a quote was mentioned that fear is the catalyst for short-term change, and love is the catalyst for long-term change. And that really resonated with me because in the past, I've made short-term changes because of fear. So I did fear dying. I did fear what was going to happen to my health. And if I continued on this path, I'd gotten warnings from doctors my whole life that, eventually I would fall into the category of having a chronic disease. And if I didn't take control, and I took myself for granted for so long because nothing had happened to me on that health, on the disease side yet, where I wasn't diagnosed with something, let's say like type 2 diabetes or something like that. So I just kind of thought like I'm getting away with it, and I kind of just slid under that radar. I wasn't living a life that I was happy with, but I was still not uncomfortable enough to make the change. So get uncomfortable enough to make the change. There's no way that someone my size, looking the way that I do, can say that they're comfortable with their life and their decisions. But right now, I'm comfortable with my life and my decisions because I've turned it around. I'm in the process of losing weight. I am nowhere near where I want to be and where my body should be in optimal health as of yet, but I'm sure as hell so much closer than I was 15 weeks ago. And I'm so happy about that. And I feel truly, truly, truly excited every single day to make better decisions for myself. Every single day. I can't stress that enough, that it is a commitment every single day, because there are days where I do not want to do it. There are days that I feel happy, sad, upset about something, and I have to remind myself that no matter how upset, how anything I am, the most important thing, this thing that I'm fighting for, is me. And I need to keep that in perspective. Like, this is my problem and this is me, and which one's more important? You're more important than your problem. So you have to get a grip, get a handle on it. Okay, so I was thinking about what my why is, and what is my why? I'll tell you. To be the daughter that my father deserves. This is a very touchy subject for me. I love my dad. But I haven't always been the best daughter because he's always worried about my health, and he's always wanted me to be, healthy, and it worries him so much, and in turn, it worries me so much that I worry him. It sounds crazy, but it's true. I want to be the daughter that he deserves. I want to be there for my dad, and I want to, be able to live this life and have him see me as the daughter that he always, dreamed of having. And not that he's not happy with me, but he is upset and worried about my health, naturally, as any parent would be. My other whys, I have so many, are to be the sister that my brothers deserve, to be the best aunt that my niece and nephew deserve, to be a great sister-in-law, to be a great friend, to be a great partner in a relationship one day, to live a life without anger and bitterness and hatred towards myself, to experience what it's like to truly love myself, and to do all that I need to do to be committed to my change. I can't leave anything up to chance. So I haven't left anything up to chance because I can't. So I have to plan everything with regards to this. So I go grocery shopping once a week. I buy produce. I buy vegetables. I meal prep. I do things that are important to me because I need to live a life that I am proud of. I need to live a life that I look back on when I'm 80 or whatever age I'm meant to get to, and I'm proud. I'm not angry, I'm not bitter, I'm not full of regrets. I want to be proud of myself, and I am proud of myself right now for making the change, for sticking to it. I don't fear failing anymore because there's no such thing as failing. There's no such thing as failing when you're going in the direction that you're supposed to go. And I'm urging you to not allow yourself to fall and not get back up. I'm urging you because I've lived that life. When you fall, it is so hard. It is so hard to get yourself back up and to uplift yourself. That's why I created this channel, and that's why I created this platform to start talking about it, because it's so important to have somewhere and something to refer to when you're feeling at your weakest, and to be able to commit and recommit to yourself and understand that you're not alone, and there's so many people out there that are in this journey, in the same journey as you, and maybe different shapes and forms, but they're on the same path towards wanting the best health that they can for themselves and being the healthiest version of themselves that they can be. Are you the healthiest version of yourself that you can be? If the answer is yes, that's awesome. And if the answer is no, then you're creating the healthiest version of yourself now just by making a change as soon as you're done watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you Wednesday. Bye.